Well, the day finally arrived. Now they got the desktop back, I can show you all the results of the 2018 NAFL season, which I did a few days ago, but of course I had to wait till the desktop got back so I can do the show the stands, and here they are. In Anthony's Eastern Division, the Boston Luck out of nowhere exploded on the scene. They went 11 and start off like 11-0, 12-0, or maybe even a 13-0 before they finished 6-2 at the number 1 seed. That was impressive. And how about that? The Washington Stars, after going 3-15 last year, have like the longest drought without getting their first win. They managed to sneak into the playoffs at 11-7 somehow, but a terrible defense still. Toronto managed to stay at 9-9, has not improved from where they were last year. The New York Towers, who won the division last year, fell off a cliff, and the St. Juan Islanders didn't do much whatsoever. And then in the Central Division, the St. Louis Archers managed to sneak into the playoffs with a really good record. Performance at least, not indicated by their record. And the Louisville Colonels, they started off the year 7-0. But then they collapsed and went 3-8 the rest of the way. They just missed out in the playoffs. The Columbus Cardinals regressed. The Green Bay Cheese improved quite a bit. And the Pittsburgh Drillers went from first to worst, just like almost like the New York Towers did. A terrible season for them. And then the Mexico City Aztecs, they lost their first game of the year, and then they went on to win like 14 in a row to finish 16-2 and first round bye. The Miami Orangemen played really good, honestly better than Washington, but of course, one extra loss kept them from being into the playoffs. And the New York Jets, who won the division last year, regressed. The Orlando Galaxies overachieved in the win column, and the Dallas Bulls really regressed after a 9-9 last year. And then in the Western Conference Division, it was the Oakland O's. Remember, they're defending champs. They took a step back, but they still managed to stay into the playoffs at 15-3, but it wasn't enough to get a bye. This time it was in the wild card round, and the Phoenix Cactus regressed quite a bit, but they still got into the playoffs at 13-5. And the Las Vegas Dice, who were like 2-16 last year, they went 8-10 and a really impressive season. Maybe they could be a playoff team next year. Then the Santa Clara Gold Rushers regressed, and then Los Angeles completely fell apart last year and having the worst defense of all time, I think, in NAFL. Then over in my conference, the Richmond Panthers won their division again, but they took a step back. Montreal took a massive step back. Philadelphia stayed the same. Same goes for Jacksonville and Buffalo, pretty much. And then in my Central Division, Detroit, after having an impressive season last year, managed to boot up to 12-6 with a really good offensive showing. The Wichita Thunder took a big step back, pretty much, but they went 11-7. And Chicago, very good offense, but their defense continues to really keep them back, as they went 11-7 but missed out in the playoffs. And of course, San Antonio had improvements, but record-wise still bad. And Memphis took a step back. The Birmingham Blaze, who was the runner-up for the title last year, once again got home field advantage, but not as good as they were last year. Baltimore took a step back. Cuban took a massive improvement, but they couldn't win. They kept choking so many games that were really close and blew a chance to get in the playoffs, because if they could have gotten in, they could have made a lot of noise, maybe. Tampa Bay improved. Atlanta, not really that much. And then the Minnesota Raccoons had a massive improvement, you see, as they went to 14-4. The Lubbock Texans took a massive step back. The San Diego Marines took a step back. The Vancouver Storm took a really big step back. And the Denver Rollers, of course, suck. What else is new? So then, of course, we went to the playoffs. Of course, in Anthony's division, number 1 was Boston, number 2, Mexico City, number 3, Oakland, number 4, St. Louis, number 5, Phoenix, and number 6, Washington. In my division, it was number 1, Birmingham, number 2, Minnesota, number 3, Detroit, number 4, Richmond, number 5, Lubbock, and number 6, Wichita. So we start with Anthony's division, which was first Washington at the defending champ Oakland. Oakland would get that 30-20. And then it would be the Phoenix Cactus visiting the St. Louis Archers, and Phoenix would win in a last-second field goal, 27-24. Actually almost gotten beaten by St. Louis. St. Louis had an impressive performance, but wasn't enough to get the win, no. And then in the divisional round, it was the Boston Luck hosting the Phoenix Cactus, and the Luck just pretty much stomped Phoenix. Never really had a chance whatsoever, as they won at 31-21. In fact, they were up 24-3 at one point. That's how bad it was for Phoenix. And then Oakland visiting the Aztecs in Mexico City. It was a close game until the fourth quarter when Mexico City ran away with it, won it 28-17, and dethroning the defending champion Oakland Oats. And then the conference championship, Mexico City at Boston. Boston played well, had a 24-7 lead, but they choked it in the fourth quarter, allowed Mexico City to score 17 unanswered points, last second touchdown from a punt return to take the win 24-23 to make it to the championship for the first time ever. And then in my division, started off in the wild card with Wichita at Detroit. Detroit destroyed Wichita 31-10. And then a rematch from divisional round last year's Lubbock once again visits Richmond. And Lubbock once again got the win on a last-second touchdown to win at 28-21. In the divisional round, Detroit visited Minnesota, and Minnesota held on for the win 22-14. And then the conference championship rematch in the divisional round as Lubbock visits Birmingham. As Lubbock tried their best, but once again just couldn't get the victory as Birmingham won it 35-24. And then the conference championship, Minnesota at Birmingham. Birmingham played really well, led 24-10 at one point, going into halftime, but then Minnesota scored 24 unanswered points to win the game 34-24 to make it to the championship for the first time ever. And then we headed out to Hawaii for the 2018 NAFL Championship. Last year, of course, was Oakland against Birmingham. This year, it was Mexico City versus Minnesota. And Mexico City made it no challenge whatsoever, as Mexico City would go on to win it 27-3, shooting out Minnesota 27-0 until they got a mercy field goal with 10 minutes remaining to prevent the shutout, as Mexico City dominated and they got their first title in NAFL history. They tie Oakland for the most titles in the league. And how about that? Anthony, the first 2 years in the league, has won the first titles as his conference is now 2-0 in the championship. Yikes, that really sucks. But hey, that season's now over with, and next up will be the 2019 season. So, see you guys then, but congratulations to the Mexico City Aztecs, first non-American team too to win. After all, the North American Football League, 4 countries plus an extension of America, and they actually got it. Tough luck for Minnesota. Maybe they can make it back next year and win, but we'll have to wait and see. So see you guys next time for the 2019 season.